have to ignore. But today we're talking about the art of being confident. What does that mean? You just have to ignore, 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 ignore. Just ignore them. Ignore. Listen, sister, you have to ignore. Ignore the crowd. Live life as if you were the only one who existed. And then when you need to like tap into other people's life, then tap in. But everything you have to do in terms of like risk, in terms of presenting yourself and doing this, you just have to ignore the crowd. I don't know how to stretch it more, but like the art of being confident is to ignore. You see how my articulation is not going well? I just have to ignore the fact that my articulation might sometimes sound off or whatever it is, because at the end of the day, I'm still gonna pull through. At the end of the day, if you want to move from A, B, C, you gotta put in effort of A, B, C. We need to see A, we need to see C. But if you want to listen to the crowd and always listen to what everyone has to say, like cater to everyone's opinion, you will never do anything. Or if you have to do something in front of people and you're thinking about how people are gonna feel, you will never do anything. So that's why I keep saying the secret to do anything or to even being portrayed as someone who is confident is to just ignore and act as if you were the one. And you know that thing where the basic thing that everyone will tell you is to be confident, you just have to fake it till you make it. But in faking it is literally ignoring it, because in faking it is psychologically telling yourself you can make it away from the eyes of people and just doing it. While you are in the moment, you're literally telling yourself, oh, I can't do this, but you trick yourself saying, oh, I can do this, with your words of affirmation and your words of manifestation, and then you just go on and do it. But what about ignoring the amount of things I've done on this earth that I've just like blocked myself from thinking that people were there and just did it? It was so rewarding. Like, I can't stress more about it, because confidence isn't something everyone has. No one has confidence. Everyone think about how other people think about them at one stage of their life. And if you notice, the most successful people are the people that threw their shame away, are the people that ignore the crowd, are the people that just do it regardless of what everyone thinks. And I know you've heard this 1,000 times, because I've heard it 1,000 times, okay? And when I came about it, it was more of like, I personally, I still think about how my family can be affected. So I feel like sometimes I'm drawn back, and I used to be the type of person to post on Snapchat all the time, because when I went to France, when I lived in France, there was this when I used to see influencers, they used to post daily about their life, everything updated. It was like you were walking through their life with them on Snapchat. So when I came to the UK, I wanted to do the same thing, and I started doing it on Snap, by the way, back when I was in France. When I came back to the UK and I was doing that and I was sharing that much about my life, the thing is, I never cared about what people think, but then I started feeling like, oh my god, everyone's watching me, oh my god, no one's actually watching. And it's that thing where my sister kept on saying that, oh, evil eye, evil eye. And you know that thing where you start like, oh my god, you're putting your life so much out there. But the thing is, I'm very confident, but then I started doubting myself. I started feeling like, oh, I'm giving too much access to people, oh, let me live like how people want me to live. Let me also work in the dark for no one to see. But then at the same time, when you're sharing your life, it didn't mean like I was sharing everything. I was literally sharing what, 40%, 50%, 40% of what I want to show. Because at the end of the day, like when you're on social media, it's only the aspect that you want to show that people end up seeing, you know? So I was like, oh my god, like I decided to live like people, and that literally reduced my confidence. Because every time when I want to post now, it's like, oh my god, they're gonna watch, they're gonna know, they're not gonna say anything. Oh my god, they're gonna be saying anything. And you know, the crazy thing that I learned about this is the fact that when you think about the crowd, listen, whether you think about the crowd or not, the crowd is still gonna think about you. Whether you leave things for the crowd to judge or criticize, The crowd will still find something to criticize and judge. If you don't give them something, they're gonna invent the thing. So why should you care about them in general? Why not just reduce them to zero and just ignore them and do what you gotta do? And I know it's easier said than done. Like, it's so flipping annoying. It's like, ah. But then when you get to like ignore the crowds and just do things, it's beautiful. It's like people that say that, honestly, people that say that I've stopped social media for 6 months, no one was there, and then they stopped social media for 6 months, meaning during those 6 months they didn't have the constant eye judgment in their eye. They reduced the pressure, they reduced the amount of people or the amount of importance they give to people, and now they literally been doing what they want to do regardless of thinking about it. That's like being more intentional about it, right? So you could go that way, or you could just ignore the people while you're posting. You could just post and then go. Like, it depends. It depends on like the different stage at which you are in life. But then if you're someone who is ambitious yet you're lazy, or someone who is ambitious yet you're procrastinating, and confidence is something that is stopping you from being overly ambitious, or for going for your aspiration, or for sticking through your aspiration, for helping you go through that skill that you want to develop, you just have to ignore and just do it. Ignore the laziness. Even the laziness is even a factor. Like, ignore the laziness. If the laziness is the reason why you can't achieve that goal, like, just ignore the laziness and go on with what you want to do. Because at the end of the day, trust me, majority of the people that make it in life, they just had to do this. Focus. They just had to focus and just remove the majority of the successful people tell you that my mom kept on telling me, stop streaming. I'm gonna put you out. Stop. They did it. Majority of the people that will tell you they succeeded in life, they'll tell you about this story about how what is it again? They had to just believe in themselves, and just they just had this desire in them. Bro, the art of confidence, the art of believing in yourself, the art of doing things is just ignoring the crowd. It's easier said than done. I repeat it again, but trust me, when you're about to do something, take a deep breath and just remove those thoughts. Stop thinking about your mother, your father, how it's gonna affect your bestie, how it's gonna affect your little brother. Just think about yourself. Sometimes I think being confident is being selfish, because in that moment when you're doing something that you're not thinking about the crowd, is literally self-prioritizing yourself, thus being a bit arrogant, being about yourself, being selfish. But at the same time, we do need to be selfish at the stage of our life to be able to get from A to B. Because trust me, you only be able to care about other people's feeling when you make it. Because right now, where you are as an ambitious girl, being lazy, procrastinating and stuff, like, you're nowhere to be able to be helpful. And unless you actually ignore and be self-centered and focus on yourself and work on these areas that you want to work, whether it is in any other field, you will never be able to sympathize or help the people you want to help. Be selfish first and come back and empathize. Be selfish first to become helpful in the future. All these people that became successful, they had to have the dark moment, the dark journey where they were all by themselves. They had to pull in the water the flower every single day just to be able to reach the stage where they are today. So we are lazy, yes, but yet we are ambitious. Yet we are ambitious. Yet we want to get there. So what do we have to do? We have to master the art of being confident. And to master the art of being confident, we just need to ignore what? Ignore the crowd. Ignore them. Be selfish. Do you till you reach there. Then look back and help them all get there. Thank you. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Can't wait to do the third episode. Can't believe I did it. If you're rooting for me like I'm rooting for myself, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Bye.